Hello everybody, this is Riding Japan, and today we want to install a Givi tank guard TN7110 for my KTM Adventure 890R. In the video here you get a quick look of what the bike looked like before. Please pay attention to the area around the tank. That's where the guard is going to go. The packaging the guard arrived in was just this plastic wrap. It protected the bits well enough, but I was surprised it didn't come in a proper carton. I'm also showing in the video all the bits and screws that came with it. Those Givi wraparound parts for the metal, they don't have to be installed, and I will talk about this more later. And if you want to have a look at the instructions manual, please pause page by page if you want to have a closer look. Once again, here you can see everything that was in the back, and please pay attention when you put it together. 17 and 18, the big black washers on the bottom left, they are not the same. Okay, yes, I'm using pictures in the next part. I thought it's easier to show you exactly. The first picture here shows you which bolts you have to take out. Those gray ones on the gray metal sheet. The second one I took out is actually behind the brake lever for the rear brake. It's a bit difficult to see in the picture on the manual which bolt you actually have to take out. And you do have to drop the brake lever in order to get to it. The one on the top of the tank is probably the easiest to find. This is the first part I did. This shows you the brake lever with the black piece of metal that we used to extend in order for the crash guard to hold on to. I had a bit of trouble to get the bolt for the brake lever back on, so I taped it to the wrench. And the last one is the top of the crash bar on top of the tank itself. And that was the right side. The left side was actually quite easy. On the picture here you can see which bolt you again have to take out in order to put that extension on it. The tank bolt and the bolts on the front are pretty much the same. It's just mirrored. Just make sure you have the right brackets on. And I want to point out that if you put something like this together, you should never tighten all the screws. You have to connect all the bolts to all the parts at the same time. If you tighten the first one, you may run into trouble at the end, so you have to loosen it all up again. There is some wiggle room in the drill holes. You can move them up and down a bit. I did not end up using the plastic wraparound things that you saw on the back at the beginning, because I don't usually like to display brand names on my motorcycles. It's like if you have anything from company X, they give you 5 stickers, and some people like to put 20 stickers on their bike with all the different brand names, but I don't usually do that. Of course, Akrapovic and Yoshimura and all those is a bit different story, but for Givi I decided to remove it. It might be interesting to put it on the lower side of the bike, that when the bike tips over, it doesn't scratch the tank guard right away, but it hits the Givi plastic first. But that's up to you. Another thing I like to do is put all the parts that I didn't use, or all the parts that were taken off the bike in the installation, and put it in a Ziploc bag. Also stick in the manual and label the bag well enough to remember what it was. That way you can either put it back into the original state, or you can hand the bag over if you sell the bike. Or if I were to, for example, crash the bike and bend the tank guard and take it off, then I might need the screws that were previously on the bike. Yeah, the last video shows you what it looked like after, and I hope you enjoyed this kind of installation video. I want to do more. I want to show everything that I put on the bike and make it easy for people to find what they are buying if they want to look at YouTube. I usually do that when I go shopping, and I didn't find any kind of installation video for this tank guard. That's why I thought I should make one. Thanks again, and goodbye.